and listen to the long stretch of the life of Dr. Sherman, I was saying that indeed, even if we check the next 100 years, we'll still say that she was here and she truly lived. But my concentration did not stop there. It went further to say, if it were me, that my sketch was being read in a room as this, what was going to be said? If it were you, and something is being narrated about you after your life, what would have been said? The opportunity is ours to also write in our own lives now, through the works that we do and how we move about doing things for creating change in our environment for us to make it better. I've been asked to talk a little bit about the effect of gender on education, and this is very important. You know, whenever you are at this place, I see this place as a factory. A factory is a place of solution. It's a place where a transformation or a change is created. A university is that factory for people. All right? I have been arguing over time that humans are raw materials at birth. When we came, we need special things in our lives, and we have to go through the factory for that transformation to happen in our lives. And if we don't get the required education that we must have for that to happen, it will be very difficult for that to happen. So we are happy that we are doing that at this, the greatest factory we have for transforming people. It's the University of Liberia, and all the universities I see, 133, are in that business. But this is all the beginning, and all of us will have to embrace that. Whenever we're talking about gender-related matters in education, gender reminds me about the first problem identified in creation. When God completed creation, we are told that He said things were good. But then after a while, when He checked and had the first man, called him Adam, he was there. And then when He checked around, He said, it is not good. Wow, it is not good. He said, it is not good for man to be alone, but many of us today, our thinking is that when you say it is not good for man to be alone, you're talking about marriage. No, don't get the Bible wrong. He's not just talking about marriage, He's talking about completion. He's talking about on the discussion table that a man just in this room, if we're all men here, we are alone. Our ideas that we are putting together will be incomplete without the factor of a lady being put there. So in the rooms and in places where we have been doing things, if we don't have another balance there, I still share the view that we are alone. So it's really a matter that all of us have to think about, and if we don't pay attention to creating equity, some level of equality in our system, then there will be many loneliness almost all over the place. No matter or no wonder why in many ways in our governance system, in our presidency, the men we have 22, before Madam Sally broke the camel's back, we're all alone because there was not another person to change the dynamics in the process. So I would say that it is very necessary for us to push this. And one of the ways we can push it is by celebrating the success of every lady. I mean, this may sound strange that you are a guy saying this, but now I'm stepping in the shoe of my 2-year-old daughter to say, we will always be alone if we marginalize another person in the way to give ourselves some edge. And I believe that it is quite a mistake for us to have that. So we have to limit the restriction. We have to create more platforms and opportunities for women to participate and be able to have a say all the way. We don't need to check the disparities that exist. It is very obvious, everybody in this room here knows that we have only had one female president. And then this, according to record, is 24th in leading. And in 170 years or so, we didn't have a female vice president until Joel Howard Taylor came about to break that. That's been long. And even if we check and look at the statistics, even the justice sector, we're just celebrating the third woman chief justice. And Cottington just celebrated the first female president of the university. And we are celebrating the first female president just in the 1970s. Imagine that. So the disparity is very huge. In education, it's even more than that. When we check the ministry right now, the 4 top positions within the ministry are all held by males. The minister, you don't have to be told. The 3 deputies, you don't have to be told. There are 6 assistant ministers, and 2 only are females. So I think we need to rise up to bridge the gap of this disparity we have. How do we? I think if we double up our efforts in education and allowing more women as much as possible, no girl leaving behind, then we'll be trying to narrow this gap. Because it is very difficult for anyone in this world who is not truly well educated. Dr. Sherman made it to the top because, in part, education plays a very critical role. So it is time that we should be able to push more women. As a lady, push more girls, encourage more girls as much as you can. Make sure that if you have a child, the first person you think about sending to school is a girl. Because I was saying to myself as I was preparing that this is really a wonderful thing because a long time we have been alone. In education also, when we look at statistics like teachers, it's even more discouraging. I was just talking about the governance structure, the central ministry. But the school census 2019, about 8,720 senior secondary school teachers are males. Guess how many are females? Less than 1,000. So 1 in 10 almost we have. And that is a threat because if a male, if you check in senior secondary, maybe grade 10 to 12, most of the teachers are males, it's somehow a threat for the ladies and young ladies who are in some way feeling intimidated, and somehow we cannot truly mitigate or stop sexual harassment and other issues if we don't deal with the situation of the disparity. So all of us have the responsibility to tackle this, because that's the only way we'll reduce the loneliness and the challenge that we face. I think there are countless amount of benefits. When we educate a girl, everyone wins. I know we have had so many slogans about this, but one thing I want us to push is bridging the gap of loneliness all over the place. In order for homes to be built, to be better, and for us to have a balance, we need more to create a balance. Better parenting and better homes all come as a result of having more women educated and empowered. And of course, collective development and ownership of that development will also be as a result of promoting women's education at all levels. Any place a woman's voice is lacking, it is the manners in that particular place. So it is always very essential that all of us try to create necessary avenues for us to do this. I'll just provide a few recommendations as I wrap up. I think the first thing we need to do, many of us may have had our own challenges to meet the school or to reach at the university level, but you should now be an ambassador, starting with women taking the lead. I know in Himon there are some other things that may rise, but if women can support women as much as possible. I was a bit downhearted that we had Madam Sally try her best But this was one of the best platforms we've had for women to have been placed at all levels, girls being pushed to be able to lift that barrier so that we can continue to have the gap. So in that, providing more opportunities, more scholarships, more mentorship programs, more encouragement, that no girl is left behind, will be able to close the gap. And every successful woman should be a campaigner for this. Don't feel that you are safe by you advancing alone as a lady in the family who is the one educated. Or if you are counting 10 or 15 or 20 men, you are the only person there. It's a big manus because most time the voice may be suppressed because of that. So what about you joining that? But also, most of all men in this room, we were recognized as being alone. And that being alone is not having the other person. So until we can all be together, put our hands together, support one another, the dream of Dr. Anthony Brown Sherman, the things that they were doing to make sure the world becomes a better place, will all be hindered. If we are to live their dreams, then let's challenge ourselves and make sure we stand to promote women education, women empowerment, women security, peace, and other factors that will lead women. Thank you so much.